Hi, thank you for watching Sacred Enzyme. I'm Stacy, and today I want to explore a little more about the World Mother for anybody who's interested. Maybe one day you'll be when we all find out about the World Mother. And I keep trying to figure out how she could have come from the North Pole, or how I would have seen her at the North Pole. And so I started trying to go back in time, and I started trying to correlate her appearance to really early groups, because I know that she looks Asian in appearance, like Eurasian or Asian. She looks Asian. And so if she's the world's mother, then that's how the first humans had to have looked like, was Asian. And that's all there is to it. And so I started going back, and I kept trying to think, okay, how would this route be possible? And so I did a video before, and I was talking about the Matariki, which is the mother star. And this is some of the Maori beliefs of these Maori people that are in New Zealand, okay? Now, if you know where New Zealand is all the way near the South Pole. So I'm thinking, okay, so if these Maori people are so close to the South Pole, how could it be possible that she came from the North Pole, right? So I'm trying to figure this out. So I just want to tell you real quick, as I was doing my first video and I was going through the entire star system that is in their creation myths of the Maori people, which interestingly enough, the one a star that they say signifies their wind element is Urangi, which you get the word in there. And then you have Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, and means dog. So, I mean, I thought that was really interesting. And that, you know, my brother that's crossed over, he told me if you want to look at him, that he's in the trees and like the wind. And so I don't understand what that is, but I think it has something to do with these winds, these different elementals actually being, well, they're conscious. So I started to do this whole video, and I got to the part where I was talking about the World Mother, that the biggest secret of the world, and I got a thump as I said it on my watch, because I tell you that my guardian thumps my watch when it's something important that I need to pay attention to, right? And I said that the biggest secret in the world is that she's Polynesian, right? And literally after I started saying that, I got the stump on my watch. All of the rest of the audio on my video completely stopped recording. I'm talking and no sound is recorded. So I found that really, really interesting. So hopefully this video is going to take, because someone here is trying to manipulate my video. Okay, so as I sat here and pondered on that, how in the heck could that have happened to my video? I started getting these ideas in my mind. So I go to dig into my ideas, and I see that if you go back to the original map of the planet Earth, before it all broke apart, you have at the most northern portion, the continent China and Japan. So China, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam are the 4 countries that are that started out being as close to where the World Mother is at the pole, North Pole. So I find that really interesting, that when you go back and you look at the conflict, the war history in these countries, and the fact that one of the biggest oppositions of the United States, or so they lead us to believe, is China. And this is really interesting, because the way that China is set up, nobody can go to China unless you live in China, and then you can't get out. So it's really interesting that all the secret stuff about the World Mother would be buried in China. And China just so happens to be a communist country, and they monitor everyone that visits there. They monitor the people that live there. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, folks. So, well, the World Mother would have had to have been Chinese. right? I'm guessing that she would. She does look, she looks like all of that. I mean, but the one thing that is the most interesting part about it is how she looks like almost childlike. I don't even know. I got to figure out a description of what I'm trying to explain of the way that she looks, because she has beautiful skin and she has very thick hair. And then she has eyes that are very interestingly shaped. They look like a lot of the older folks that are in my family line on my dad's side. And I'm not sure if it's from the Millers, which are Iberian, their old bloodline, Northwest European, and the Millers are 100% that practically, and or the other side of his family, which was the Randolph family, which, you know, is the famous part of his family. So I'm not really sure where those eyes go back to. I'm really curious now. I'm thinking that the Miller family might be the ones that have this old genetic line, because, you know, they looked Asian. They have Asian eyes. My great uncle, I was looking at his picture the day before yesterday, and they all have gray eyes, which are very much a genetic marker of these groups in China, Mongolia, Japan, Vietnam, and all of them. You find gray-eyed people. My dad has gray eyes, but my uncle, he had gray eyes, and they have no eyelids, and they're very wolf-like. So, I mean, I'm not sure how this all ties in. I need to go back to China, but there is a legend called Bono Chino. And let me go to my mailbox on this, because this is really interesting. Bono Chino is this old person from, oh, come on, Stace. Hold on just a minute. Give me a second. I had it up, and then I had to close it out for a minute because oh, here it is, Borticino. Okay, so Borticino is a myth, and these are Mongolian people. Okay, so we have origins of the Mongols and their connection to the divine. We have Genghis Khan's life. Genghis Khan's life is interesting because of the legends of Khan being like where these Tartar people come from, Tartarians, right? And then you have the Mongolian culture, which has a lot of legends. So the secret history of the Mongols, Borticino, is depicted as a male ancestor, often represented as a blue-gray wolf. He is considered the mythical forefather of the Mongols. The pairing of Borticino, the wolf, with Koai, Koai, Maral, Maral, the fallow doe. Okay, Game of Thrones, anyone? We've got the Baratheon people, who are these fawn or these deer people. And then you have the dire wolves that are Stark. I mean, Stark, Stewart. The Bruce family comes from Stewart. The Randolph family comes from Stewart. And then you have the wolf people, and you have the boss people that have these wolf legends. And then you have all of these groups that ended up in the Polynesian Islands. And, you know, they're very connected to the Divine Mother energy. There's still a Stargate. There's a Stargate in Hawaii. So they say that they have a male ancestor that's a wolf, and he's a blue-gray wolf. And according to the pairing of Borticino the wolf with the fallow doe, which is the deer wolf, as their Mongols trace their ancestral origins to these. So it just goes to show you that we had animal forms, and it was just through changing. And the interesting thing about wolves is how their genetics can change literally every generation. Go look it up. I have a short on it where this kid explains it really well. And they can literally change themselves. So, I mean, it's not a far cry to say that we come from animals, because these different solar systems, the field that they live in determines how many toes you got, which face looks like, what if you got hair on your body, if you got a tail. Most other galaxies, the beings that live there have tails. We don't have tails. And that just goes to show you that we've been hybridized with water beings. These water beings, which are the Anunnaki. We've been hybridized with all these groups. We have all been hybridized. I mean, this is what has happened through the evolution. And we all go back to our own lineages, original lineages of whatever they may be. You may go back to the dragon race. There were dragons. And these dragons, they were majestic beings at one time, but through a process of being stuck here in this third dimensional reality, that we've fallen. We've separated from source. And so as this polarity experiment has continued to progress, I mean, it's gotten to the point where so many changes have been made and attempted to be made to our timeline that the World Mother has basically her timeline locked in. It's her timeline. So the pairing of Bordicino, the wolf, with the doe shows their ancestral origins, and the story has been passed down through generations and remains an important part of the Mongolian culture. And so according to the secret history of the Mongols, Bordicino's story is central to the Mongols' origin myth. But they don't have a lot of specific details about who his mother was. So I think that's pretty interesting. So at this point in time, we're already taking the mother out of the equation. And so information that you can find about the Mongols is that these groups talk a lot about these creature beings that they were before that looked more like animals. And you know, this is where Chinese medicine comes from and all this stuff. This is all information that comes from the World Mother. So I mean, and then you have an interesting thing is that we've got this group called the Donghu people. And these are an ancient nomadic group that lived in eastern Mongolia and northeastern China. And so I'd be really interested to do some more research on these people, because, you know, you have these groups that are from these areas ancestrally, and then you have Eurasian that came from the Asian. And this is when the whole world was in one land piece before it all broke up. You have this at the top, and you can go back and look. And you can see a trickle-down theory. Is that everybody started up the top, and as they got closer and closer down to the warmer portion of the Earth, because you have your equator in the middle, and then you have the North Pole and the South Pole. But the North Pole, if I actually went to the North Pole like it is here, it was not cold. So I'm wondering, where in the world did I go when I met her? I thought that I was at the North Pole. I really did. Maybe she's still at the North Pole. I mean, I've got to think about this some more. But, you know, I want to do some more research on the Maori people that are living in New Zealand. Because Maori sounds a lot like Mary, doesn't it? And then you have Lemuria, which is Lumari, which means the mother, in archaic language. And so you got Tumari. I thought it was Kumari, but I think it's Tumari, T-U-M-A-R-I. Sometimes I don't always get the things in right. Like sometimes I might think it's saying reptilian and it might be saying Regilian, or it can say Akkadian, and I'm thinking it's saying Arcadian. See, it's really, linguistics is a really touchy subject, and I have a hard time hearing. I'm hearing impaired. So, you know, a lot of times when I'm astral traveling and I'll wake up and I'll say something out loud as I'm hearing it, to remember it. I'm speaking it out loud of myself, but because a lot of times my hearing is not good either. So I get words wrong. You know, I'll get it a little bit off, and then as I start going along, I'll see, okay, it'll linguistically line up. And then I start finding documentation, and I think it is Tumari, T-U-M-A-R-I, because if you translate this out in the Maori language, it means mother goddess. And then Lumari means the mother. So these islands that they talk about, you know, this Lemuria and Tumaria and the Kumari Sea. Now, Kumari, there is a sea that's in the old map of what's inside of the inner earth, you know, in the original times at the pole. And there was a sea called Kumari. So, you know, that wasn't necessarily not right. So you've got Ku, Tu, Lu, and Lu is archaic for you or the. So, and Mari is mother. So you've got Mari, Maya, you got all these different versions of mother, Mayan. And, you know, the other thing is that it's sad that we have all this division on the planet. We have all this division on the planet, and then the areas where everything that could be found out, that could just totally bring to light about our world and the origins and how everything started out with the world mother is kind of gatekept. It's gate-kept. It's gate-kept in a communist country that is highly, highly surveilled. So, I mean, what do you guys think of that? And what is the big deal about, you know, and, you know, dogmen and werewolves and all these legends all come from this time. They all come from the world mother. The world mother. And these bloodlines that didn't get lost. The Maori have very rare bloodlines too, interestingly enough. They have Rh negative blood, they have O blood, and they have JKA and JKB negative bloodlines, which are very, very rare. So I think this is really something to look at. And also the Matariki, they're legends, they're creation legends. I'm going to have to re-record all that, because as I got halfway through and I started talking about the world's greatest kept secret is that the world mother is Polynesian, my phone instantaneously stopped all the sound. So I think that's really interesting. So anyway, when you come and find me, I'll be here, because we're living in the past, present, and the future all at the same time. I would love to hear your thoughts about this, what you think about the world mother. And the next video, I'm going to go over everything that we've learned so far about setting up the community garden and different things that I've put together. I really want to share it. So if you really want to do the work of the Divine Mother and bring our planet back to the place that it needs to be, then I encourage you to get into your community and approach them about putting in a food forest or a community garden where we can start going in the right direction, offsetting food cost and getting out of the matrix. So when you come and find me, I'll be here. We're living the past, present, and the future all at the same time. Don't forget to get outside today and set your intentions. It's going to be a beautiful day. Give thanks to our Heavenly Father and the Divine Mother, Mother Earth. Thanks for watching. Sacred Enzyme. I hope to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.